Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Charlie Cobra Reviews. Hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. This is going to be our review for episode 3 of Loki, Lamentis. So this episode felt like it wasn't as good as the second one to me, honestly, but after thinking about it, it was actually pretty good. It also felt really short to me, but I guess that's what happens when you get real into a show and the time just passes by so fast. So my predictions of what happened with the reset charges were wrong, and so was my prediction of where they wind up. Well, sort of. Loki and the variant wind up at the TVA, and she's looking to cause all kinds of hell. There are some pretty cool action sequences and fight scenes in this episode, so it definitely didn't disappoint there. It appears like if the variant is better at fighting than Loki, that or she has more experience or training. Now, the majority of the episode doesn't stay at that location, and we find out why the episode is called Lamentis. I can't really say more for a non spoiler review, but this episode had some really good laughs as well as more insight into the variant's powers and how they differ from our Lokis. They also went all out on the visuals for this episode and CGI and special effects. In this episode, it really felt like they could have made the show into a Loki movie. There was also a reveal in this episode that could have some major repercussions in the next episode and throughout the series, but we'll have to wait until the next episode to find out. Anyways, I give this episode a 7 out of 10, and the Loki show hasn't really let me down yet. If you want to find out more about what I thought about this episode, stick around for the spoiler section review, and I can't wait to see the next episode. Alright, this is going to be the spoiler section review, so if you haven't seen the episode or if you don't want to know any spoilers, this is the time for you to pause the video or come watch it at a later time. Alright, so as I said, this episode didn't feel as good as the second one to me at first, but looking back, it was just as good, if not slightly better, than the second episode. So, first off, I was both right and wrong with my prediction in that they would either go with somewhere familiar from the MCU or somewhere completely different for where the Loki variant left and where Loki followed. And it looks like they did both with this episode. First, they wind up back at the TVA. I like how right away it started with action, having the Loki variant initiating her assault on the TVA, where she showed herself as a very capable combatant. Then Loki, not far behind, catches up to her, and they have a little tussle as well. Backup arrives for the TV agents in the form of Renslayer and a couple of additional hunters, and that's when Loki grabs the temp pad from the variant, teleporting them both away. This is when the episode starts getting really interesting because they arrive on a moon called Lamentis 1. Lamentis being the name of the episode to me meant that this was going to be important or at least have some sort of major significance. I think it was mainly because the majority of the episode takes place there. Now, we really don't learn more about the variant other than her preferring to be called Sylvie and not a Loki. And as much as Loki warms up to her and tries to find out more, even when he offers up more insight into himself, the most we learn is a little more about how her enchanting powers work. There's some good odd couple teamwork from them here and there, which leads to some good laughs along the way, and some good action scenes where they're fighting some type of soldier or police force that are in charge on Lamentis. At first, they were looking for a way to charge the temp pad because it was low on power, and then after getting thrown off a train, they need to find an alternative way off the planet because the temp pad gets destroyed. I have to say again that the special effects and CGI were really awesome in this episode, and I wish they could have been able to explore more of Lamentis 1 because it looked really cool and cyberpunk like when they were in the city. Even the train with the rich entitled people on it was very interesting, and we didn't get to see much of that either. I've been seeing a pattern of big reveals at the end of every episode of Loki so far, and this episode didn't let us down. We learned that all the TVA's workers are variants and not created by the Timekeepers, like Mobius told Loki. I'm not sure what this means, but like Loki in the episode interprets it, it could mean two things. One, he was lied to, or two, nobody knows. Either way, it seems like this is going to have big repercussions down the line or some kind of dire consequences of Loki finding this out. Now, the episode ended rather abruptly, in my opinion, and entirely way too soon, when the Ark spaceship that Loki and Sylvie were heading to, getting destroyed, leaving them stranded on Lamentis 1, fated to be destroyed with no survivors. This episode was pretty good, but I'm kind of disappointed at the same time that we learned less to nothing about Sylvie and the events of her timeline or her motivations for fighting the TVA, other than them briefly saying that they hunted her. I think she said something about her mother and something about long time ago, like either her mother died a long time ago, or maybe because how time works in the TVA, she's been around a lot longer than we've been led to believe. As far as my predictions go for the next episode, really don't have much to go off of because of how it ended. I mean, I can predict that they'll get off Lamentis 1 somehow, possibly because of Agent Mobius catching up with them. And I have a feeling that Loki is going to get in a lot of trouble for taking off on him. But other than that, I kind of got nothing. Anyways, this episode gets an 8 out of 10 for me, and I can't wait until the next one. Alright, thanks for taking time out of your busy day and checking out this review. Remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date on our latest videos, and hit that notification button if you don't want to miss any. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you like watching video games, check out our live streams on Twitch where we're streaming every day, and our other channel here on YouTube where we post the streams at a later time. I'm Charlie Cobra, and have a great day.